and I'm dreading the battery drain on this 2003 Land Rover Range Rover. Hey, it's Jason, and I'm dreading the battery drain on this 2003 Land Rover Range Rover. It's basically still draining. I went a good 6 months without any issues. Then I let it sit for about 2 weeks, and the battery went down to 1 volt. Even on a battery tender, somehow the battery tender started getting an error, and I guess the battery tender stopped charging it. As you know, I have 2 batteries on this car, but the battery in the trunk area or the boot does not function if the primary battery is below 9 volts, so it doesn't give it that extra oomph. I have the second battery because if the battery's at 10 volts, I want to make sure I have a full 12 volts when I go to crank it because of such energy hogs. So I dread having to do this, but I'm going to put this disconnect on, which goes on the negative side of the battery, and basically I can open this little lever and completely isolate the battery from the car. It was like 10 bucks. The problem I'm having is clearance. It has to go on the battery like that. The negative side is over there and it's hitting the side. So I'm going to see if I can't remove the battery and push it farther over and figure out a way to get clearance in there to make it fit. So I do have a brand new battery, and it's a Napa Legend as well. Napa actually replaced my battery for free. It was an 18-month warranty because they tested it and claimed it had a bad cell. So I don't know if that's just from constantly having it on the trickle charge, or maybe it is a bad cell. So either way, I'm not going to take any chances. I'm going to put the new battery in, and when the new battery is in, I'm going to hook up that isolator so I can cut the battery off. I'm hoping it fits if I can move this battery over just a little bit. And the purpose of this video is going to show how to get that primary battery out. This is heavy. It's a big battery. The Land Rover is a tall vehicle. You're going to need a step stool, and you're going to need to put that hood in repair mode or access mode or maintenance or whatever you want to call it. So let me show you how to go do that. So the only way you're going to get this battery out, because there's not enough clearance here to lift it and to get under here, you're going to have to go to the struts that hold the hood up, and there's this little metal clip back here. Just push it up, and when you push it up, you're going to be able to pop that strut off. Now keep in mind, my head right now is supporting this hood. One strut is not enough. So you're going to have to hold it, pop it off, hold it with your hand, walk around the car, and then do the other side. Now the other side is still on, but you see these little guys here. This will actually slide down, if you can see that clip, and this will go into these holes to hold the hood up. So pop this one up, just using a Phillips head screwdriver. Pop it out, and then I'm going to lift the hood up, and you're going to want to clamp it with that little tiny thing that holds it. I need 2 hands for this. Maybe I can sit the camera there and do it. Yeah, but you see then this here, keep pushing the hood back, pushing the hood back, pushing the hood back. It goes in like so. And now you have a nice safety mechanism holding this hood up. And you're going to want to do the other side as well. So you just take it, push it down, and get it to latch. So now what you can see is it's not going to fly back and hit the windshield, and more importantly, it's not going to fly forward and hit yourself, and it's in a completely upright position, so you have much better clearance to get to the battery. And then to remove the battery, the hold downs or Phillips head screwdriver on each side. So I just take a standard Phillips head screwdriver and put in there and loosen up. Again, they just sit like that, and then you just use this screw to screw it down. So let me do the other side. So once you disconnect the battery, do the negative first, lay it somewhere safe, and the positive secondary. It's still very tight to get this battery out. You have this wiring loom here, which, you know, the first time I disconnected it down here from the positive just to give myself more space, but it didn't seem to really help. It's a tight fit. Let's see if I can get better light in here. This curves the corner, so you can't like lay it straight in. And it's heavy, and you don't want to put too much weight on this. This was already kind of broken on mine, but you don't want to put too much weight on this, so you kind of got to like lay it straight in, but you can't because of all the wires. So my advice to you is get on a step stool, push it back, lift it, and try to tilt it, and then bring it up and out. But this is definitely going to be moved. Somebody at some point popped a tab out on mine. This is probably the most difficult and pain in the butt battery of any vehicle compared to like a Mercedes, the D1s, a Silverado, or even that Chevy Colorado. By far, I think the L322 is the biggest pain, just because it looks like there's a lot of space, but the battery doesn't go in right here. It goes in off center, and you can see you can't just pull it straight up. All right, the old battery is out. Don't be concerned if this pops up a little bit. I'm sure some folks might get really motivated and actually remove it when they pull the battery out. I just lifted it just ever so slightly to help me get it out. Old battery, new battery. I always put it in with the caps, so I don't have to worry about something hitting that and, you know, creating a spark, or inadvertently the positive cable touching as I'm putting it in, or the negative cable, or any cable, really. And then once it's seated, I remove it and hook things up negative first. So let me put the battery in, and the real test is going to be, can I sort, and I don't think I am, enough clearance for this guy. We'll find out. If not, I may have to get the button style, which Napa does have in stock, so I can actually finish this project today. So exactly what I thought. It's not enough clearance for this. Disappointing. I hate when this happens. So I'm going to have to ship one of these back, or maybe I'll use it on a different car where it fits, but there's no way to make this fit. So I need to figure out a plan B, which I think is the knob kind. I'm going to take a few pictures and go on the internet and see if I can't find a better option locally, hopefully at Napa, because I want to get this done. I'm supposed to be driving this car for the next week. I like to alternate and give that one a break. So I'm going to go do some Googling, see if I can't find a better option here, because there's no way to make it fit. There's no clearance on either side to shift the battery, so I don't have any choices. Alright, so I made a quick trip to Napa. I initially wanted this guy because I thought it would be easier to open and close it, but as I discussed, there wasn't enough clearance, so I bought the compact switch, so it will basically go on like so and connect. So this should be a much safer and better connection. I have everything ready to hook this up. I'm going to hook it up to the negative terminal first, and then I'm going to hook it up to the battery. And keep in mind, this is a 10 millimeter on the battery. The adapter looks like it might be a little bit larger. So this does have a battery tender hooked to it. And what I've noticed is I'm going to want to disconnect it from the main negative terminal and hook it to the negative terminal of this. So that way when I have this off, the battery tender can still do its thing on the primary lead. If I kept it hooked up how it is, and I had this disconnect off, then obviously the battery tender wouldn't be doing its thing. So I'm going to disconnect this. I'm going to hook it directly to this guy, so when it goes on the battery, that functionality will maintain. So I've disconnected the battery tender from the negative. I'll hook it up to this adapter again, so I'm bypassing this completely because I never want to have the battery tender not functioning if it's plugged in and the battery isolator is cut off. This is not 10 millimeters, so let me go see what socket size this guy is. So the end of this guy, it's a 13 millimeter, and then the standard on the car is 10. So you need a 13 millimeter and a 10 millimeter socket. So again, it's going to hook up like so. That's going to go into the battery. Let me go ahead and do that right now. Okay, I have it all plugged up. This is the guy. Turn to the right, the battery's on. Left. Battery's off. Turn to the right. And you can kind of hear it make a little tsk when the battery makes contact. So then you know for sure it's on. Now, I'm hoping everything seems nice and secure here. I can't imagine that thing would come loose as I'm driving, but definitely something I would want to keep an eye on. So I can go ahead and undo this guy, and I can put these arms back on the hood, or the bonnet, I guess, and I can lower it. So that should be done. That should be all I need to do for this project. And I'm going to keep a very close eye on the battery. I'm going to keep it all hooked up overnight, see what happens, see if there's any additional battery draw. But when I park it for an extended period of time, I'm going to turn to the left and physically disconnect the battery. So thanks for tuning in. I hope this was helpful on your 2003 Land Rover Range Rover L322. It's definitely not my ideal situation. I wish I had all this draw solved for, but it is what it is. And I'm doing everything I know to do to try to at least have the vehicle ready when I need it, because when it starts snowing is when I really do drive this 03. Be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. It means a lot to me. Have a great day. Bye-bye.